All right, part two. This is part two. Just checking how the audio is. All right, part two. This is part two.
Not actually fully
Just
successfully
checking how the audio
learned how
is.
to alter or not alter.
All right, part two. This is part two.
Not actually fully
Just
successfully
checking how the audio
learned how
is.
to alter or not alter. Fully
Just
successfully
checking how the audio
learned how
is.
to alter or not alter.
What the fuck just happened?
So then maybe because I also think the same.
All right, don't worry. I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna rewind it. I had to fix myself. Yo, 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 yo. I had to check. I had to
Can
fix
be
it.
said
Yeah,
for
I had to fix it and make sure my shit was straight.
successfully learned how to alter or not alter but change between business. He has not actually fully successfully or so volatile because he has not finished his business. He has not actually fully successfully learned how to alter or not alter but change between himself. Like we don't know what Jake is doing. That's another story. And they would have to fix that and talk about that. And I don't think that would make such a big hiccup or just a speed bump to something that could have been as simple as not putting Moon Knight in there.
Yeah.
I would love to see Moon Knight, but I think it's money and that his character wasn't completely fleshed out. We haven't gotten a second season.
No.
Until then, maybe. Because I also think the same can be said for Sentry, 100%. Sentry's still very volatile. He could literally put everyone into a depression. But I think that's the only character that should be able to do that in Doomsday. That's going to be his, like, the horrible part of Doomsday is going to be him having to be subjected to that.
Yeah.
If we get that with Moon Knight, that'd just be too many people.
I just have always had it in my head that the math on Moon Knight has been okay, his powers come from Khonshu, from ancient Egypt, from the Ennead, and that the way you bring him into a Kang Dynasty story is you team him up with whatever Avengers are fighting Pharaoh Rama Tut from ancient Egypt,
God,
and
yes.
whatever power
it
he
up.
has rooted in ancient
That would have
Egypt.
been dope.
Isn't
would've
it
been dope.
ironic that Oscar Isaac also played Apocalypse?
Yeah, Apocalypse.
And Sabanur. Just kind of interesting there. I don't know. Maybe there was something in the water there and how that could crossed over. But I just don't think that. I don't see how Doom is connected to ancient Egypt in the way that Pharaoh Rama Tut was.
Ugh.
So I don't know if that math still holds up. Whatever that story logic could have been. So I am in agreement with you. Plus, yes, he's expensive. Plus, yes, the VFX that would cost to make that look as cool as it did in the Moon Knight show might be more useful in other places that you have. The 838 dimension. So not to be confused with the 828 dimension of Fantastic Four First Steps. 838 was what we saw in Multiverse of Madness. That's where the Illuminati massacre happened. That's where Wanda is still alive over there.
What about it?
There's a 4chan leak
Like, you hear
that
me?
Zach and I talked about on Rumor Rundown this past week that seems completely ridiculous, but whoever wrote this 4chan leak or whatever AI software wrote it seemed very obsessed with the idea that a lot of it would be taking place in the 838 dimension. And I don't know if that was just like AI slot putting the wrong number in there, but 838 was just the universe that we spent a lot of Multiverse of Madness in. Michael Waldron wrote a lot of scenes that take place. Things like Pizza Papa, multicolored rain clouds that work on a schedule, red and green lights that show pedestrian traffic, a lot of like greenery and waterfalls between skyscrapers. Could we be going back to that at all?
That's so much VFX. Those parts, I think they accounted for the budget when it comes to making it. Like when they're gonna.
She kind of speaking facts right now. Listen, I think for Doomsday they are going to go all out. I'm trying to say, of course, they're not going to spend $1 billion on the movie. I'm trying to say, But come on, I don't. If they're gonna, if it works in the story, they have in the script that they have to go to 838 for some reason, and it's important to the story. They're gonna spend the money on the VFX. I'm trying to say, and if they, and either way, if they go to 838, it's not gonna be just for nothing. I'm trying to say these next two movies are major. They're Avengers movies. I'm trying to say they're not like Iron Man 1, Captain America. That's a lead up. Nah, dude, they have to do the thing. So they have to go. What I'm trying to say, so that if they have to go to 838, they're not gonna delay that. They're gonna go there in the movie. They're gonna spend the money they have to for the VFX or whatever.
Be going through different universes. You
Mhm.
got to account for the money that's going to take to make those different universes. The more reason why I don't think it would take so much time there is only because, well, and this is also on them. They could do this if they want. The fact that it had what's his name, who was an Inhuman.
What's his face? Black Bolt.
I was almost at Black Mouth. Same difference.
No mouth when he went
yeah,
down.
no mouth whatsoever. Actually,
That was a crazy death.
no mouth anymore. But that's the part which I don't think it would be a hiccup for them. I think they just wouldn't address it. But I'm like, oh yeah, that universe also has Inhumans. So how are we going to talk about that when we break that world apart? Would we see other Inhumans, and will we talk about the differences between the Inhumans and the mutants? Since you just made Kamala Khan a mutant instead of an Inhuman. This is the deep Marvel nerd in me that's like, oh, cool, we'll see other Inhumans when that world gets destroyed. They won't want to address that. They probably just wouldn't even address it.
It's a universe that also has X-Men,
Oh,
as
yeah,
we
it
know.
does, yeah.
And that there's definitely probably a Scott and a Jean Grey if there's a Professor X who lives there who has like a hover chair, I think that was the implication of that. There's a Wolverine somewhere in the background of that universe. So I don't know if this 4chan leak was saying that's where all the X-Men would come from. I think realistically after Deadpool and Wolverine, they're coming from the 10005 universe. They put that on screen. I don't think they're going to get their mutants from 838. And in fact, I don't think really any elements are. But what they were saying in this 4chan leak is,
They might go there, but
the Doctor Doom, like
the
Robert Downey
main-
Jr.'s Doctor Doom.
the main characters are gonna be from the X-Men universe, the Fantastic Four universe, and the MCU. 616. So the main cast in the movie, they're going to be coming from Earth 616, the MCU, Earth 828, where the Fantastic Four comes from, their universe, and the X-Men universe, Earth, I think 10005. So 10005,
Doom would have been the
which
Doctor
is the Fox universe.
Doom to the John Krasinski Reed Richards.
Oh.
And I'm like, I guess that's kind of fun to think about. I just don't think they're going to go back there.
Yeah, I feel like because they gave that like clear nod in Fantastic Four, they want this Doctor Doom to be that Doctor Doom, right?
I have no idea. I don't know if the Latveria seat is what you're saying.
Because it's like,
I have no idea.
I feel like that would be kind of not lying to us, but like kind of cheating to be like, this is the one from this universe. I'm like, then what the hell was that Latveria for? Don't show it to me.
I still have no idea. I feel like they could be saying there is still a Victor Von Doom in that universe, and Downey's Doom comes from another universe.
But why?
I just feel like,
but why include that then?
They would have made the Baxter building more fortified against whatever the Doctor Doom of this universe has to offer. I don't think Sue would have been as surprised when he showed up caressing her son. She would have said like, oh, we got to keep an eye out for him. I'm not going to leave my son in the room in a building
unless they all look the same, which they could do because
like
they did that with Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Oh, sure. Oh, okay. So they know of I guess it's so hard to even theorize on because like it could be that in most universes, when there's a guy who looks like Robert Downey Jr., that guy goes by the name of Victor Von Doom. But only in the 616 universe did he look like Tony Stark.
He's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea.
Those are two ends that they can change whenever they want. They can change that anytime they want because we have a bunch of different looking Lokis, but we don't have a bunch of different looking Kangs. So
we have a bunch of different Peter Parkers,
but we don't have a bunch of different Kangs. It's the Kangs that throw it off.
It was the Kangs and then the Doctor Stranges as well, because like we had
they all
three different
looked
Doctor
the same.
Stranges.
It was the zombies
and the Wandas.
And the Wandas look the same.
And what's hard is Michael
Bastards.
Waldron was the purveyor of both forms of logic. And Loki, it was a variety of Lokis. Actually, it's a mix. You had one Loki, you had King Loki or President Loki.
Yeah, no, some Lokis look like him.
But some of them look like that little boy.
They had a
or
black
look like
Loki.
Richard E. Grant, the black Loki.
Yeah, they had the black and Richard E. Grant and
you have
alligator.
Sylvie was one of the
And then when
Loki
they were
variant.
showing the different ones, there was like a hulking monster one in the like hologram. That's why I'm like, yeah, there's some that look like him, but there's a lot more that don't. And I'm for that. But now you say about Wanda, and I'm like, that is true. Even Zombie Wanda and What If it is Wanda.
It is Wanda. It's Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah.
Or I think you could also lie and say that we only saw human look-alike Elizabeth Olsen Wandas because she's looking for her children. So she wants human-looking children that look like her children probably versus like a Wanda that's an octopus that had a bunch of octopus children or something. But
do we think we'll get an answer from Waldron logically why some variants in the multiverse?
No.
You think the movie's not even going to bother?
I don't think it irritates me. It irritates me so much.
See,
but
I feel
don't
like
think
they have to answer it if they're bringing Downey back. Like that,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
the reason is, the new mask, same task of it all. Like why Downey looks one way in one universe and is Doctor Doom in another universe. That answer is probably the answer as to why all Wandas look alike versus Loki's who can have a variety.
It's crazy that the simple answer will just be like, yeah, they just look alike. That's what they're gonna say. It's like,
Don't give me a cute answer.
They're literally gonna be like, yeah, they just all look alike.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Bitch, please don't.
Like, and then because then that makes Loki the odd man out. It makes, and I guess you could say again. I'm just saying they could be like, oh well, he's a god and gods and do look different in different realities. Blah, 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 blah. They can make some excuse. I'm sure they can find an excuse that makes Loki different from the rest of them. But
I feel like the best possible logician who has an answer to that question is Michael Waldron, and that's why they brought him in, is to figure out an answer. But based off of what we've heard from the Russos and Stephen McFeely, is they had some idea that brought them back to Doomsday, and I think that idea was Downey. It's whatever this idea was. And there's another 4chan leak that we're going to talk about in the upcoming episode of Rumor Rundown that does explore one possible explanation.
Oh yes.
Well, you'll see what that.
I don't know if this is what he's talking about, but fun fact: if you guys didn't know, for the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, the one with Jessica Alba, Ian Gruffudd, my fault, I fucked up his last name, Michael Chiklis, and Chris Evans, the 2004 Fantastic Four movies, Doctor Doom, Robert Downey Jr. came in to test to play Doctor Doom in the original, what was it, 2004, 2002 Fantastic Four movie? No, 2005. So that's mad meta. That's mad meta. So yeah, fun fact, if you didn't know that, Robert Downey Jr. auditioned for the role of Doctor Doom in the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies.
That is.
Right. I was literally like, I was thinking about like everybody that looks the same, and I was like, technically, in the most racist way, all the Peter Parkers kind of look the same. Spider-Man don't look the same.
I see what you're saying, the Miles versus the Gwen.
But I was like, and the Gwen, and the...
I think that's racist.
Oh, they're all, and the pig. I'm like,
The
Spider-Man
pig.
and the pig. And the pig. Spider-Man all look the same, but Peter Parker's all look the same. So I'm like, well, they could get away with it too with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You see a thin white guy with brown hair and kind of a higher pitched voice who's just kind of lanky, but also kind of ripped.
I'm also going back to the Sony leaks where they were like, he must look like this and he must be like this. And I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah.
just like all Peter Parkers do look like that. It's the Miles, it's the Gwens, it's the pig.
You're referring to when the Sony leaks happened, it was like this memo from Ike Perlmutter or someone who worked under his division who said that, okay, if you're going to ever put Peter Parker in a movie, he has to be white, he has to be straight, he has to be a photographer or all this other stupid shit that is not important, as important as they were making it sound, especially if Miles Morales was at the time the most popular version of Peter Parker in the comics and animation.
The thing. He's Miles Morales. He's not Peter Parker.
Right.
That's where they got you in the comic.
But I think in the memo they said Spider-Man.
Did they say Spider-Man? I thought they said Peter Parker, because I was like, oh, smart to say Peter Parker, because there's a million other Spider-Men.
Well, I think it's why like Miles Morales had to be an animated thing.
Oh, maybe
when Lord and Miller were pitching it, and it's why we didn't have
I was gonna say, but technically, Miles Morales is Spider-Man Miles Morales or Miles Morales Spider-Man, but it's still Spider-Man. So yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Have a live action Miles sooner,
Probably.
which is stupid. Like, we've been saying it for over 10 years now. Like, that memo, as soon as like Kevin Feige took control over Marvel Studios and had the deal with Amy Pascal, there's really no reason why. And I think the only reason why it's taken so long is that the animation films have been so popular.
Yeah.
They have to wait till those 3 are done. Maybe it's some deal that Lord and Miller have with Pascal.
Probably. And also, again, yeah, maybe it'll cause confusion when you get like the live action one in the MCU and then you still have the animated one still going in the Sony universe. People will be like, well, I want to buy merch, but which one do I buy? And are they the same costume? And then, oh my God, don't get us started with the costume. It will change. Yeah. And so then you'll be like, I don't want that one. I want this one.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin Feige even said as much back last summer when he talked to press after Fantastic Four First Steps came out or right before it. He said that like we can't do Miles until after Beyond the Spider-Verse.
They are holding on to it. They're not gonna let that go. Why would they let you? If I was Sony, I would never let that shit go. That's all I got.
Well, I mean, Sony could even do the same kind of deal that they have with the Tom Holland Peter. Is like, we can do a profit sharing. He can be in the MCU. He can be in your future Mutant Saga stuff. Whatever you want to do.
To be fair, Sony Animation, I guess, is better than Sony. Is Sony just called Sony?
At least when it comes to the Marvel titles, yeah.
Sony Animation does pretty well, right?
Well, yeah, Sony Marvel, at least.
Fair, they kind of the deal on K-pop Demon Hunters, but they're coming out with other things that weren't so bad, that were pretty good. But I think their Sony Animation is obviously, clearly, no offense, a little bit better than their live action stuff.
Or at least they've had like a clear creative direction. Yeah. But again, Beyond the Spider-Verse, June 2027. We're still like a year and a half away from that. And I guess, as he's saying, are we not even allowed to greenlight a script until after the movie comes out?
Probably.
Or is it just like...
You know what's crazy? Like, I'd be forgetting about Beyond the Spider-Verse. And that's one of the few movies that I remember, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. How long left? Wait. That's one of the few movies where I'm like, I'm cool, I could wait. The other big ones is like Secret Wars of Doomsday. But yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse is included in that. Like, I could wait. Take their time. I'm trying to say, make that shit as good as you can. I'm trying to say, polish that shit as many times as you can. So yeah, I could wait. Because remember, the longer it takes, the longer time they have to go over and fix shit, go over shit that they probably missed. So yeah.
Our movie cannot come out until after a certain time after that movie comes out.
If they write that script right now, it will be changed like so many times. They will hire every single person to touch that script before. I think they're like, we'll wait. We'll wait. That script, even if the script was perfect 5 years from now, 5 years ago, they would still go and try to like make it better or something like 5 months before they actually get to do it. Marvel will wait till like the last minute, or not last minute, but they just alter the script on set all the time, so they'll probably just do that again.
So I think to kind of answer our question, what elements from the original version of the Kang Dynasty script will come back in Doomsday if Waldron is as involved as he's saying, is I really just think it's the TVA. I think whatever architecture he dreamt up with his team for the TVA is going to play a more important role in Doomsday than even I just assumed from like that Thor stunt double video where that saw that they're going to be in the TVA for part of it. Now I think it's not just going to be like what Deadpool and Wolverine did and kind of walked through the TVA and got some of the logic a little fuzzy. It's going to be like the plot implications of what the TVA was to the Loki series will be at least important to Act 1 or Act 2 of Doomsday, as it now is.
I think Loki is probably their most successful Marvel television series, and to not address the like continuity that series made would be an insane thing to do. Because it also feels like if all else fails, the TVA will step in. And if the TVA can't step in, it's like, oh shit, we can't do anything. We have no control anymore.
I think if the TVA and Tom Hiddleston are going to be part of it, then okay, you need to know how Loki season 2 ended. And Waldron wasn't as involved in season 2. That was more Eric Martin and Benson and Moorhead. But I think like Waldron wasn't as a part of it, then okay, you need to know how Loki season 2 ended. And Waldron wasn't as involved in season 2. That was more Eric Martin and Benson.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so what I said in part 1 of this video, of this reaction. So yeah, Marco Waldron was the showrunner and writer on season 1. He didn't work on season 2. I kind of thought that was the case, but I didn't know completely.
And Moorhead,
Mm.
but I
I don't know
think
for
like
sure.
Waldron knows enough of the architecture
Yeah.
to kind of understand how Loki got there and what that means.
To be fair, they didn't really. They didn't really like change too much from the second season
Oh
to the
no.
first season. They just like
Oh no, hell nah. They built upon it. Hell nah. When I watched season 2, the only thing that felt different was like the directing. It felt more like, I don't know if this is the right word, but like more quirky. I don't think that's the right word. But yeah, it felt like different directors, but the story, nah, it felt like the same. It felt like it just built upon from season 1, from where they left off. That's it. So yeah. So what was the name of them? Eric Martin and the other people that wrote season 2? Good shit. Good shit. Y'all killed that. Yeah, I built upon the first season beautifully, and it felt so natural.
blew up the world that they were already in.
Yeah.
They kept just going to different universes to go get people, but the logic was still there from the first movie.
Yeah, and I think it was because
Yes.
Eric Martin was in the room in the first season.
There you go.
So yeah, just interesting that Waldron still as involved as he is with both Doomsday and even the new version of Secret Wars. Helping out however he can, and that just makes me think Stephen McFeely had some questions about the logic of the TVA and needed someone else who worked on other stuff so that it feels true when Hiddleston is saying this dialogue now. All right, but let us know in the comments below what your thoughts on all of this are, and let's talk about the upcoming week on New Rockstars. Again, gotta subscribe to the Witching Hour. It's as you're watching this, Halloween was 2 days ago. We're now in November, but I assume maybe one of the things you watched on Halloween was John Carpenter's Halloween. If you did, you're in luck, because this coming Wednesday I had I think a pretty good video essay about maybe some questions you might have coming out of that movie. So that's going to be on the Witching Hour this coming Wednesday. Also, if you're loving this kind of horror content, we are covering Welcome to Derry here on the New Rockstars channel.
Oh yeah, that shit is good.
We covered the first
if
two
y'all not
episodes.
watching that, y'all gotta watch
Episode
that.
2
That
came out on
good.
Halloween,
it's on HBO
and
Max.
we were able to break that down. The next episode comes out on November 9th. They're taking kind of a Sunday off, so a week from tonight will be episode 3, and you'll be able to see our breakdown of that episode the following Monday. Other stuff in the mix. Let's see. Fantastic Four First Steps will be on Disney Plus. At some point this month, we'll be doing a re-breakdown of new information we found from that.
Oh hell yeah!
Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein will be coming to Netflix soon. Jessica will be breaking that down, and then Predator Badlands opens in theaters this coming Friday. And now that our Predator rewatch series is complete, we will be breaking down all the Easter eggs and alien references that you might have missed in Predator Badlands. That will be on the New Rockstars channel either this Friday or Saturday.
But yeah, I heard them. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. I hope they bring back King somehow, even if it's just to kill him. But they can't just sweep him under the rug. Feel me? So yeah, and I hope Doctor Doom looking like Tony Stark, there's a reason to it. It's not just because he looks like him. No, I hope there's a story reason to it, and I hope it blows our fucking mind. But yeah, all right, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and yeah. Oh, hold up. All right, yeah. Peace.